Welcome to United Jews channel.
And let's talk about, say, women discrimination. Do you think that women discrimination stopped in 1964? You know that before 1964, even discrimination by gender was legal in the United States.
I think
And
we have
if
I think
you
we did a
look
great
at,
job. I
if you,
think we did a great job, but I know where you're
did we
going.
finish? Did we finish the job?
Okay.
Did we finish the job? Tell me, why Me Too movement?
Okay, may I say something as a
Yeah,
woman? Okay.
sure.
I want to say that women's marches, okay? Women March was, for many people, many women, it was a great, great, great idea. And I would support Women's March only if they would talk about women's violence in the United States, in the world, in Muslim countries where it's going on a lot. You know, I would totally support that movement. Yes, I'm against the violence towards women or any kind of violence. I would totally support it. But what did I see at the movement? The movement was against Trump, against, I don't know, everything else. Women were acting crazy. I mean, they did not represent me in any shape, way, or form. I don't know what they are fighting for. What are they fighting for right now? Women's movement, feminism took over, crazy people took over that thing. I don't know what they stand for. You know, as a woman, I want to fight against violence toward women. I think we have equal pay if we negotiate right. I think we choose careers that pay less than men. Yes, we don't become surgeons, we become pediatricians. Our choice because we have children. We don't want stressful jobs. Yes, we can negotiate better salary if we want. I think women have a lot of power, especially in California. Women don't know how to negotiate. So don't you victimize women where you don't need to victimize women. We're very powerful. We're very strong. Okay? And I don't know what happened to feminism. It was a great movement, but now it's taken over by crazy women.
No, just a second.
I can't even say anything. They don't represent me. I don't know who they are. And I think they're just lonely, lost, crazy women who maybe need to have some relationships. I don't know what they need. Friendship, relationships.
Tatiana,
On that note, I want to just follow up on victimization. It's actually has a lot to do with that word. Everything, not just women, not just blacks, but everybody is singled out for that reason to find that they're victims, women victims, and they use statistics very, very interestingly. So, for example, you heard those numbers, and they say women make less than men. So what do they compare? It's never spelled out, and when it's actually spelled out, you find out that women make like so many cents for a dollar. For example, I work in nursing. I am a nurse. I am a male, and most of my coworkers are female. And I find out that because of that issue, um, and most of positions are not full time because women like not full time position. I've been trying to get full time position since I started nursing, which was a long time ago, more than 20 years, and I can't. I have a part time position and I work in two places to make it full time. So women like that, and if you want to change that statistic, you have to force women to work what they don't work in a lot of times, like longer hours and take only full time. So for example, same hospital, you'll say, oh, it's just hospitals do it. Well, no, same hospital, radiology technicians, mostly men, all positions are full time. Hardly anybody works part time. Even women have to be forced to work full time because that's the only positions that are available. So it's all victimization. Same thing. If you tell a cat that he's a tiger, many times he will believe that he's entitled. And the opposite is true. Same thing if you single out blacks and you will tell you black, you black, you black. That constantly does it. And why it's all about black? Because they're very easy to spot. Okay, so when they come in the room around this table, the black person will associate themselves first with another black person at the table. They could be in a different profession, they could have different level of education, they could have absolutely different place of birth, different goals, they could be conservative and liberal, they can be left and right, but they singled out on one single thing that very easy to spot, and that they're immediately put as a, oh, you're victim of what exactly? What is it, victim? Same for women.
Would you say discrimination is a myth?
No,
Discrimination is not a myth, but it's based on this victimization too.
it's also the difference between discrimination on a systemic scale versus discrimination just in general. I work at a startup right now. I am the only software developer. I'm also the only female. I cannot claim that discrimination happens at my company because of the company policies. There are no company policies. There are no systemic policies that are discriminating against women. There are sexist people. Don't get me wrong. I was in a computer science class where the professor said, "Are you sure you want to be in computer science?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a senior. I'm graduating this semester. So yes, pretty sure I've chosen my job, my career now." And yeah, those people will always exist, and you have to know how to put them in their place, or you have to know how to be quiet. That's up to you, I guess, how you want to react to it. But the question really is is it systemic? And in terms of, at least with women, I don't think so. I don't think that wage discrimination I think exactly that it's a statistically created problem, that basically if you manipulate statistics in a specific way, you can prove whatever you want. You can prove that shoe size is correlation with reading ability. It really doesn't matter what you want to correlate. And so the same way we can correlate that women make less, but if we don't look at, what jobs they have, whether they work full time, and so on, all these other aspects. And if we do simplify into a specific job with a specific area of the country and a specific, if we put in all of those variables, then we don't have enough data to make any sort of statistically significant conclusions. So, I mean,
Let me show you something. Imagine that in 1964, after the civil rights bill was accepted, passed. Imagine that at that moment, we as a society would proclaim, "Hey, let's women finance the education for girls, and let's men finance the education for boys." Will we get to the equal representation of women, for equal opportunities for women by today? This is what happened. This is what
Yes,
happened.
I want to take this question. I think, as I mentioned earlier, laws are great. Some laws are absolutely great. Some ideas are great. But again, they are not forever. They are for a certain period of time. By now, I think we became equal. By now, I don't know, you want to say that you want to fight forever and ever and ever and ever. I don't see this as a huge problem anymore, because we caught up. You wanted to go, you have a goal. I think we've reached that goal. We almost reached that goal, and there is no need to make us victim, because what you were fighting in 1964, we're in the 2020. The time has passed. It's hard to believe that we are already there, but we are. And I don't know how long you're going to do. No, Tatiana, you are still a victim. You're a victim. And I'm saying, I'm not a victim. And somebody wants to say, no, Tatiana, you're still a victim. And I'm trying to say, no, I'm not. No, you are. I'm not. No, you are. And this is what's happening. This is what I feel. Some women feel they're victims. I don't know. Let's teach them negotiating skills. Let's teach them let's make sure they have enough self-esteem, let's make sure whatever, but it's not happening systemically anymore. You know, this is 2020, at least in California, we don't have that.
When Me Too movement
Okay.
appeared.
Okay, oh, let's talk about Me Too. If you want to talk about Me
Let's
Too.
talk about Me Too. Yes.
Okay. All right. Me Too.
So it's 50 years
What
after
exactly?
60s, right? Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
what exactly Me Too we're going to talk about?
Yeah, what exactly? Yeah, formulate the question.
Where do we start? So, I mean, Me Too is divided to me. It's like, and it's quiet now. You know, last time I checked, it disappeared. But Me Too to me is two. You know, one is a real problem where there is assault, there is discrimination against women, there's actual attack. When a man tells the woman that she looks good, that is not discrimination. This is not attack, and she can you know, she can act normal and she can do that. I mean, if it's assault and it's reported, it should have been reported to police, and if they did something wrong or didn't do anything about it and didn't investigate, I understand. But when a woman who is now in her 60s says that when she's 15 somebody said something to her, well, I'm sorry, we can't do anything about it. Okay, and it had to be done, and the laws were wrong. And to follow up before I stop on constant, we passing the laws, you know, to solve certain problem and everything. Sometimes it's a good law, sometimes it's not, but there's no checks and balances on the end with those laws. Did they work? Did they fix the problem, or they made it worse? Or the problem already disappeared, and we need to, you know, get rid of that law and maybe get away with it, because laws are only passing in one way, and we assume that it's forever. No problem is forever. Why laws are forever? You know, we have so many laws in the book, even lawyers don't know how many laws they have.
I wanted to add a few things about
Okay, go ahead.
Me Too. There are several things, like if you think about it, an act of rape is an act of rape. Everybody agrees this was wrong, this was supposed to be persecuted and everything. Attempt of a rape, it's such a broad thing. Who can interpret this? Who people interpret it? Oh my God, you know, somebody can touch you and you can say, oh, that person was, you know, wanted to rape me. You know, it's so difficult to determine. And women can lie sometimes too. So there are so many components. So the only thing that really clear is rape is a rape. Me Too actually was pretty active during the summer among high schoolers. They all started, or during coronavirus. People were lonely in the house and they were like, oh, Me Too, in high schools, in San Francisco at least. That's what I heard. And everybody was saying, Me Too, Me Too, Me Too. And it was, you don't know, this happened to you 2 years ago and you were in high school. How old were you? Okay, what really happened? You know, and oh, I had an abusive boyfriend. So if she had a boyfriend who was trying to rape her, I mean, this is so suspicious when it happens to boyfriends. You know, the gray line is huge.
Offer something?
Yes, sure.
Can you imagine that everything is not what you see? Because everything is an interpretation of what really happened. Yes, act of violence. Yes, act of abuse. Yes, Me Too. Yes, racial discrimination. Yes, laws that favor certain people over others. Everything is not real. It's all invented. Because what is real is there is instances of abuse. So okay, separate what happened from the story that you're telling yourself about it. What's real is instances of racism. What happened? I realize what happened, complete that conversation, separate it from the story you made about it. So if we as society need to start thinking that everything is invented, There's only certain things in life that are real. Okay, well, we're walking on the ground. You cannot imagine that you're walking on the ground because it really exists. But every law, every border, every condition, every situation is everything is what our mind is telling us what it is. And in order to complete for that, you need to complete the conversation and create a new conversation or a possibility for something future. And you live in the moment, not in the past. Because if you cannot live in the moment if you have unresolved conversations from the past. So this is what we need to pioneer. This is what we need to approach every single day. Live, like start a day with a possibility of today living in the moment going forward. Not to overstep what happened in the past. Complete what happened in the past. If it's a conversation that needs to be done, complete it. If it's a conversation that cannot be completed, I mean, you cannot be with, still complete the conversation. Ask for help. Ask somebody to clear you, to figure out how to make yourself into being in the moment. This is the teachings that are the gentleman by the name of Baba Ramdas. He teaches that, like he teaches you to live in the moment. You live today and right now and right now and right now. And you need to stop carrying the baggage with you together. So if you're asking a question, how can we solve the problem of racism? This is how we solve it. This is how we solve the problem of inequality. This is how we solve it. This is how we solve the problem of having laws that cannot be even interpreted because nobody knows what the heck even they are. This is how we solve it.
Okay, Kirill, then